Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Credit Card Madness 2025. This is the start of the Sweet 16, so we're going to recap the qualifying round, see who you guys at home decided who you wanted to see in the tournament, who's out, what the matchups are on both the cashback and the travel side of the bracket. We had over 200 votes on both sides, so we've got some good competitions and good matchups to look forward to. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, quick intro before we get into it here. Yes, this is Credit Card Madness, the channel's annual credit card tournament, largely based, as you might have imagined, on March Madness, which is also kicking off fairly soon. We play this for the whole month of March once a week, right back here every Tuesday. So last week, what you had was the qualifying round. Now, we do have a playlist building out for 2025 and all the other past tournaments as well on the channel homepage in its own section called Credit Card Madness, as you would have guessed. So in qualifying, again, it's turned over to the viewer. You had a list of cashback cards, a list of travel cards, and you went through and you voted for who's in and who's out. That's also how we seed the cards. Because again, normal basketball, they're going to play games and your record indicates your seed. In this case, the higher the card gets voted, the higher the seed is going to get. Lower the votes, lower the seed. Again, 8 cards on each side. On the travel side, the Venture X is the defending champ because it won last year. It's actually a 2-time defending champ. I should say that with more respect. 2-time defending champ going for a 3-peat. So it is automatically in. Spoiler there, but winning should mean something. So without further ado, we're going to break down cashback, travel. And we'll take a look at how all the stats went with all the cards. I'll give you some thoughts. I'll complain about some cards you left off. You've already complained to me about some cards I left off. It seems only fair. And then we'll queue up the next round. So bring in the music and let's start with the travel region. So for the second time in a row, Lake City Custom Cash is your #1 seed, this time with 186 votes. Now, against the Custom Cash is the #8 888 Daily Advantage card with 80 votes. This is a big step. This is the AAA's first time in the big tournament, so happy to see it here for sure. Now, the #2 matchup is the House of Diamond Infighting. We have the #2 seed, also retaining its title from last year as a 2 seed, the Chase Freedom Flex, with 148 votes. Facing off against its brother, this Chase Freedom Unlimited, with 82 votes in the 7 seed. Moving right along here in the third matchup, we are going to have Capital One Saver Rewards card in the 3 seed with 144 votes. If you remember last year, the Capital One Saver card was the winner of the cashback region, going up against #6 Discover a Cash card with 86 votes. And rounding out the cashback bracket, matchup #4 sees 2 of my absolute favorite cards, the #4 Chase Amazon Prime card with 107 votes, and the #5 seed US Bank Smartly card with 97 votes, also its first time in the tournament and on its first outing. Remember, this card just came into existence late last year, so a strong showing for Smartly. Now, jumping over to the travel side of the bracket, as we said, we had the defending champion Capital One Venture X in the #1 seed. It's squaring off against the #8 seed American Express Hilton Aspire card with 80 votes. Moving right along the travel region to the second matchup, we have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card with 131 votes versus the Built Rewards card with 107 votes, taking up your #7 seed. Third matchup, we have the #3 seed American Express Platinum card with 124 votes, facing off against a sort of new contender, an old contender with a fresh paint job, perhaps would be better described as the #6 City Strata Premier card with 113 votes. And rounding out the travel region, we have the #4 Chase Sapphire Reserve with 117 votes versus the American Express Gold card at the #5 seed with 114 votes. And there you go. That is your matchups for the Sweet 16 round. Overall, some really good competition going on, some really interesting matchups for sure. While we're at it, let's take a look at the stats and how it broke down. So for cashback, we'll start in case you're interested. 222 votes total. Not a bad showing at all. The things of interest that jump out to me, the top cards, the top 3 seeds were won in deciding fashion. The Custom Cash was a runaway winner. Again, the Freedom Flex was very close with the Capital One Saver. Then after that, you can see there is quite the drop off there. overall. So overall, not too bad. I think the Cash Plus just missed out. So did some Bank of America cards overall, but not too bad running there. So you can see I'm not overly surprised at how this one shook out at all. I think the right cards are in there. I know some folks are mad that I forgot the Fidelity card the second year in a row. It wouldn't have won, but you have the right to vote for a candidate even if they have no shot at winning. Make that into any joke you want. So let's take a look at the travel side next. And again, it's 211 responses here. And overall, again, the same kind of thing that stood out. The winners were, the top seeds at least were, commanding winners. I am still a little bit surprised to see the Sapphire Preferred and the Sapphire Reserve so high up. Platinum and Gold are always going to have a favorite running in there. Built Reward still holding its own as well. I expect to see maybe some Marriott love in there, but nothing. The only one that hurts here is my beloved Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card. Only got 67 votes. I thought that card... No, I didn't. I wanted that card to do better. It should have done better, but that's probably the one disagreement I have. That's like the one I'm like, we left out that card. My opinion. I've always been high on that card, but it's me and that Matt Clausen guy. Everyone else is kind of meh on it. So I get it, but that one hurts. I was pulling for that card overall. The other ones I left out, I think I left out the Redstone Visa. I kind of forget that one exists. Redstone used to be open a lot more places, or they used to be nationwide. Then I think they locked it down somewhat, and their earning rate's a little bit weird, but them and Fidelity I think are the ones people wanted to see the most. So maybe next year, or maybe we'll just keep the tradition of me forgetting them alive. So either way, let's take a look at the bracket now, and we'll talk about how you can vote for this round. So here you go, your 2025 bracket is up. There you go. Overall, I really like the matchups. I think you've got tough matchups on both sides of the house, especially for me, especially cashback. I have every single one of those cards except for the Saver, and I applied for the Saver. I've just been denied. I don't have a Freedom Unlimited currently. I had one. I think I've had two, actually. I've just product changed in the Freedom Flex. So I have the majority of those cards. I'm pulling forward smartly in the AAA card, but the AAA card just has a huge hill to overcome. But I'm still happy to see it in the running. Smartly, I think a lot of it will just depend on how people have gone after the program. It could be a 4% card to you, it could be a 2% card or 3% card to you. I just don't know, but we'll find out. On the travel side, I am most probably interested in the 3 versus 6 matchup. I want to see how the refined city card does. I want to see how the refined city card does to take it to the old guard, right? Platinum, who's actually never won this term. I think the gold won the first year, so I'm interested to see how that goes over as well. In the 4 versus 5, I think could be interesting as well. So there you go. And just for fun, a look back, if you will, on how everyone did in 2024. You can see we have a lot of the same players, right? This time the Cash Plus didn't make it, and the Blue Cash Everyday didn't make it. But other than that, mostly the same players on the cashback side. On the travel side, of course, the Altitude Reserve is no more, so that one had to be removed. But other than that, again, it's a lot of the same players. Overall, this time, with City finally bringing in the travel benefits, it was enough to get it into the tournament. So overall, not too bad. I think the matchups are really good. So how should you vote? Well, down below you will have a Google form link. That's obviously it is free. So it's in 2 sections. The first section is the travel cashback region. The second section is the travel region. It's just a multiple choice. You just pick one winner and one card from each matchup, and then there you go. You do have to sign into your Google account. I explain this all the time, but again, in case people are new, I don't get your email address. I've turned that feature off. You can email me if you want. It's on the channel page. But for the first year I did this, I let people vote as many times as they want, because I thought only me and 4 people would play. And then someone really, really cared about the Wells Fargo Propel card, and they just spammed the box for it. So that's why you do have to sign in. So anyways, it'll be down below for you. Vote early, vote often, and then next Tuesday, again, we move from Thursdays to Tuesdays during the tournament. We will be back here to recap the Sweet 16, take a look at who's moving on to the Elite 8 and who's out. Overall, I will, of course, tell you who I vote for. I do vote. Someone's going to test it. I think you know how I would vote, but I save it to the end, to kind of recap overall. The cards that made it in this time are largely the ones I voted for, especially on both sides, I would say. So we're mostly in alignment except for my autographed Journey card. So there you go. That is it. Everything you need down below for you. It's a great matchup. So thank you all for voting, getting the tournament started off great. Again, if you like this, consider dropping a thumbs up down below. If you found it interesting, you want to follow along all of March and beyond, well then subscribe to the channel. Because again, we're posting this every single day or every Tuesday in the month of March. And then of course, we're still doing every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. As always, thank you so much for voting and for watching. Good luck to your competitors, your cards of choice, and I hope to see you right back here next Tuesday to queue up the next round of the tournament.